first week this was happening, she goes, you know what, baby? God knows what's true. We know what's true.
That's right.
What else matters? Who cares that anybody thinks? And I was like, I care. What are you talking about? There's a side of me that's like, maybe it's a short guy thing, but I really identify with like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like, if we want beef, I'll destroy everything. I'll burn everything down. There's a little part of me that's pre-therapy.
No, we don't want that.
That's like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about whatever. You came at my wife. Let's just burn it all down.
All right, so it's been around 5.
That doesn't even make any sense, really. The Kendrick Lamar, that doesn't even make any sense. Kendrick Lamar's short guy thing. You came for my wife, I'm gonna. That doesn't even make any sense, really. Because what does Kendrick Lamar have to do with that? Because Kendrick Lamar's beef with Drake was more of a personal thing. It kind of all started a little bit from J. Cole and what he said about the big three. Kendrick comes out and says it's not big three, it's just big me. He mentions how much he hates Drake. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. Your wife kind of did this to herself and to you guys by her own actions, by the things she said on pods, by the things she said on her own social media channels that unfortunately contradicted with what you said about her and your relationship coming up. That's it, really. That's it. There wasn't no big conspiracy. No one was trying to silence Akaash, bring him down. Like, no. You spoke about your wife in one way. Your wife spoke about herself in one way, and then she acted like with you on screen or on camera like in one way, and made people look at your relationship a different way. That's it. But most of it is down to your wife. She's the fucking generator, the starter of all this mess, really. Honestly, they've been together for a while. Nobody really cared about them until she started yapping. But what do I know?
5 months since we all sat back and witnessed the brutal humiliation ritual of Akaash Singh, which of course happened after his wife essentially tarnished his reputation in a lousy attempt to become an influencer, which got so embarrassing for Akaash that he eventually had to step away from the Flagrant podcast, as he hasn't done an episode since last Christmas, which he of course blames on his current comedy tour, but we all know it's because his wife exposed him for being a human doormat and her personal ATM.
How do you and your husband split finances?
We don't. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
If we're being charitable to her, right? There's nothing really wrong with what she's saying. In general, it's just that she's saying it. She's just very unlikable, isn't it? Like, people have these relationships. People have these like dynamics, these arrangements. This is not like a new thing where maybe the husband takes bears the brunt of the financial responsibility or obligation. She just has a way of saying things that just instantly makes you not like her. You know? That's it, really. It's not deep. It's not really that deep. Like, it's just, she just has something. Maybe it's the way she looks, the way she sounds, her sense of entitlement. It's just something about her that's just fundamentally not that likable. You know? That's it, really. I don't know. I think that's basically it, really. Think about it. The internet just doesn't like her wife.
For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Justine. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian, and he buys me lots of nice things.
So she basically made Akaash's whole fan base boot him off the internet. And based on this recent interview, it honestly seems like he's still having a super rough time with it all. Because if you guys don't remember, the craziest thing his wife did last year was when she constantly fantasized about other men on her podcast and bragged about all the fun she had in the frat house.
We completely missed that, innit, by the way. People don't talk about that enough, innit? We completely missed that, innit, no? We completely missed how utterly humiliating that must have been, innit? Like, for Akaash. Like, we completely missed how utterly humiliating it must have been to see all those clips of his wife talking about all that shit. Especially being a traditional Indian man, right? You're kind of a bit reserved and timid and shy and whatever. Seeing your wife talk so openly about her sexual past escapades. Hearing her talk so you know, excessively and so fucking whatever about your friend who she wants to have a free. That must have been so humiliating. Like, just forget all the money stuff and whatever, the gold digger stuff, but that shit must have really did a number on his confidence as well.
Is back in college, which in and of itself was completely humiliating for Akaash, as he was under the impression that she was a virgin when they first met.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe her?
I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
You have to, again, I don't know, man. That's the thing, because having grown up, that's the thing, it's hard to realize what's true, because having grown up in London, in a particular part of London I live in East London, I've grown up around a lot of like Indian and Pakistani boys and girls. And I know a lot of my Indian Pakistani brothers and sisters out there will not take offense to this. I know you won't, because you know it's true. I used to work in a bowling alley where a lot of these people used to come through and get their hanky panky on because they couldn't do it at home and shit, right? There is a tendency. That's the thing. But like, I knew a guy I used to work with, right? I knew a guy I used to work with, right? I'm not even gonna say his name, but I knew a guy I used to work with whose parents thought he was a virgin, but he used to get down. Like, that guy was a stick man. I don't think I've seen a force that powerful. The amount of girls at work that he fucked was in like was in the high double digits, not triple, high double digits. This guy I used to work with, Sikh guy, he was a fucking, like, I've not seen stick man, I've not seen Gallus, I've not seen Gift of the Gab like that in my life. That guy was incredible. Didn't matter what the women were at work, white, black, blonde, he got it in. It didn't matter. It wasn't always Christmas, because sometimes Christmas parties was easier because everyone was in jolly mood. He got it in, but his parents thought he was a virgin. And he was the master. He used to like brag about being the master of pulling out. He never wore a rubber, always pulling out champion, right? But then on the flip side, I knew of certain girls from those particular places in the world who would talk a very, very big game about, you know, what they do, how good they are in the bedroom and all this malarkey. But then when somebody ended up getting with them, it was very clear that they were not that experienced. You get what I mean? So on one side, I feel like sometimes their experience is like way above what you'd ever think of it to be. And I think on the other side, sometimes they just lie to sound cool, to sound like, you know what I mean? Because maybe you've grown up in a lot more rules at home. You're not allowed to move out until you find someone. Religion, all that shit plays into part. So sometimes I look at Jaslyn, I think to myself, like, was she lying? Was she lying? Was she doing all this just a lie? I don't know. I don't want to give her like benefit of the doubt, but it wouldn't surprise me if she said all this shit just to sound cool. Still fucked up Akaash, still messed up his life, but it wouldn't surprise me if she's just like a fucking boring, vanilla Indian girl that just wanted to sound like a fucking, you know, like a city girl, but because she's grown up in a very sheltered life, she just said what she said to sound cool, but then inadvertently fucked over Akaash's life. I don't know.
And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's like,
So after that story spread like wild,
then I hear that, I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. Then I hear that, I'm like, maybe she was a whore. Then I hear that, maybe she was a whore, right?
I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's like,
I don't know about, okay. I take it back. Maybe she really was for the streets. Holy shit, Jaslyn. She closing her eyes and fucking leaning her head back and fantasizing about all the fucking nuts. God almighty, girl. God almighty. You're meant to be a virgin. Oh, she's such a legend. She's such a legend. You were meant to be a virgin. What the fuck is this?
So after that story spread like wildfire across social media, it quickly became the only thing he was known for. Like nowadays, more people recognize Akaash for being a simp rather than a stand-up comedian.
Also, the guy that she was simping for. Oh, I want to fuck him. He's so hot. He's so hot. Honestly, I'll be so angry at my wife. I'd be so angry at my wife. Oh, we need to have a threesome. Your husband's so hot. He's so hot. This guy. That guy. Him. No homo, but Akaash is way cuter. Way more good looking than that guy. No homo completely. But Akaash is way more good looking than that guy. Come on, man. You're just saying anything.
He's essentially the podcast Will Smith. I mean, even to this very day, the comment section under each and every flagrant episode is absolutely flooded with people clowning on Akaash and his marriage. Even though he...
What's that? Akaash is blocking the Strait of Hormuz. Akaash is blocking the Strait of Hormuz. Oh.
Marriage, even though he hasn't done an episode for over 4 months now. So this really didn't disappear like he thought it would. And it absolutely altered...
It's legit made it worse, isn't it? It's actually made it worse, isn't it? Like I said, I honestly think they're being good friends. I think Flagrant, or maybe Akaash, or maybe together, they agreed to let Akaash do his thing, do your stand-up, go on tour, let it cool off a little bit, and then come back on the show. I think they're being good friends. I think they're being really good friends. You know what I mean? But it's unfortunately not helped, really, isn't it? It's not really helped. Like, people are still talking about it. Like, they've been really good friends for once, right? In the comedy world, usually these comedy podcasts will always exploit their friends, like make light of their situation for jokes and giggles, even though their friends are going through real things, right? So it's kind of admirable and commendable that they've done what they've done, but it actually hasn't helped. It actually hasn't helped at all. Like, it's only made it worse. Because the fans feel like they're avoiding it. It's like, it's really odd. It's really strange.
The man's image for the very worse.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who hustles.
Even his voice, man. Like, fuck off, man. You want to fuck this guy over me? I'd be so pissed if I was Akaash, man. That's the kind of shit where you want to, like, backhand a woman. Like, what?
Really didn't disappear like he thought it would. And it absolutely altered the man's image for the very worse.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who hustles.
What the fucking... What in the fresh and fit is this? What in the fresh and... Honestly, I'd be so annoyed if I was Akaash. What in the fresh and fit nonsense is this? I'm a hustler that's going to be... What? Man, turn your hat back around the right way, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Honestly. Your wife wants to smash this guy more than you. Oh, this guy's body is going for days. Yeah, I'll be so mad. I'll be so mad, man. If you're going to first over somebody that clearly is above my level, cool, no problem. But don't first over some guy that's like, come on, man. I'm a hustler. If it could control it, man, get out of here, man. Go. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to. Oh, I don't know.
That was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Not gonna lie, if I was a guy, I'll be nervous if I was a wife, because she's clapped compared to Jaslene. That's the problem. I think that guy is clapped compared to Akaash, but I think she's way more clapped than Jaslene. So she should be nervous. You know what I mean? That's the problem at hand here. Like, she should be way more nervous because her friend who's way hotter than her wants to fuck her husband, and her husband is way more ugly than Akaash. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I would be really nervous if I was her. I would have been really fucking nervous. Like, don't leave Jaslene in the same room with your husband alone. Don't leave them because she finna. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler.
Now. So this really
I'm
didn't
a
disappear
hustler.
like he thought it would.
I'm
And
a
it
hustler.
absolutely altered the
But
man's
never could
image
he,
for
never
the
had.
very worse.
What?
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer
I'm
who
not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
Every time you hear that clip, it just doesn't get better, innit? It just gets worse. Could you imagine, like, even for the most, like, secure man in the world, what that would do to you? Like, could you imagine what that would do to you even as the most secure man in the world? No hint of, like, I don't know, man. That would just, like,
So once he realized that there really wasn't anything he could do to salvage his dying reputation, he pretty much buried his head in the sand, quit the podcast, and proceeded to blame his absence on the comedy tour that he's doing right now, which is, of course, a pretty pathetic excuse. Because nearly every single comedian you see doing a weekly podcast is doing a comedy tour at the exact same time. Because, believe it or not, it turns out podcasting is literally the easiest job in the world. The real reason Akaash is not on Flagrant anymore is because the dynamic he used to have with Andrew Schultz and the other co-hosts is permanently screwed. I mean, they would essentially...
Even now, even then, look at he's looking at Akaash. He's looking at him like it's a car. That's actually a good point. Even just there, Charles is looking at Akaash like, I can't believe you put yourself in this situation. That's actually a good point. Even just there, you can tell what Schultz is thinking about. Brother, I can't believe you did this yourself. You could never move past this. That's actually a really good point. Like, apart from them being friends and wanting to, like, not have him, like, get all the hate, also between themselves, how could it go back to where it was before? Because there's always going to be something in the air about that, you know? There's always going to be something in the air about that. And Schultz, if I'm not mistaken, has never liked Jasleen because they've been together for a while. We just never saw her on camera. She was never like that vocal on social media. We never really saw her. But there was always rumblings that Akaash's girl at that time didn't get along with Schultz. Now we know why, you know? Now we know why. Oh my God. Oh, that must be horrible because, you know, like any story that comes out, well, that's any story in the news that comes out that involves cheating, that involves someone getting cucked, that involves something to do with like men and just something to do with a relationship, right? You're going to be on like eggshells, you know? You can't really make, you know what I mean? Because you know what your boy is into or what situation he's in. So yeah, kind of wild. Because he enjoys podcasting too. He enjoys yapping. So he's probably missing it too. He enjoys podcasting. He enjoys yapping. But, you know, if he goes back on there, it's just going to open the floodgates again.
I mean, they would essentially have to tiptoe around making fun of the guy and his relationship because he's just way too sensitive about it, which he makes pretty obvious in this recent interview he did with Hot 97, where he basically just embodies that meme of that guy sobbing behind a smiley face mask. Like he's clearly infuriated by this entire thing, and sadly enough, he's actually forced himself to believe that the only reason he received any backlash was because he's super famous.
You know you need to thank her, right?
All the time. I buy her nonstop things.
I know. I see her. I love her, by the way.
She loves you.
Of course you love her. She's getting everything she wants. She doesn't do jack shit. Of course you love her. I love her, by the way. Of course you do.
You and I have a relationship where it's like, I don't give a what you say. She can give a what I say. I have her location. She has my location. Every time if you look at 90% of her TikToks, they're on our couch. Like she don't go nowhere without me. So I'm like, whatever you say. I don't care. I know you.
The problem, like, it's a weird thing. The problem wasn't, is she doing anything now? Which I think is a self-owning a bit, right? Saying that you've got a location now is a bit of a self-own because it means that what are you? No, I don't think anyone was ever questioning that she was cheating now. I think people were questioning her supposed virginity before you guys got together. I'm not gonna. I don't know if you guys are thinking different. I never thought that Jasleen was out here fucking other guys in the present. It was just how embarrassing it looked that she was online talking about how many times she let guys fuck her and stuff, and whatever guy slept over after a Tinder date and he stuck it in her ass, all this malarkey shoes. That's what was bad, because you paid her out to be a virgin. Now he's talking about, oh, I've got her location. Why have you got her location? What are you worried about? You know what I mean? Like, she ain't going anywhere. You give her a fucking amazing life. She ain't gonna go. She ain't gonna risk that. So it's an interesting self-own that.
But the internet just ran with it and made it a thing. And at first, it really like f***ed me up.
I wanted to ask you, how did you really feel? Because like I can't ever gauge.
The internet ran with it. The internet ran with what? Honestly, these people. The internet ran with it and made it a thing. You mean your wife started yapping on the internet and she made it a thing?
Because you are a comic, you're so good at this. You do have thick skin.
Yeah.
I have seen.
X for doubt.
Well, like meaning for the most part, the success that you have had. I don't know. I don't feel like things really phase you like that. So I couldn't gauge if
phased.
it really hurt.
I was deeply phased.
But what hurt you about?
It's just they're saying it about your wife. And I think the stuff they say about me will make me insecure. But when you're saying this about my wife and you're calling her all this vile stuff, people were messaging my mom and her mom saying she's a whore, she's this, she's that. It was like, yo, this is crazy how far this has gone.
So did he never watch the clips himself? Which makes sense, to be honest. Because it sounds like he never watched the clips. It sounds like he never watched any of the clips. It sounds like he just heard all the abuse his wife was getting or his family was getting. That angered him. And he let his wife explain to him what really went down and moved on. So I don't think did he never watch the clips himself? Like, the damage is that she did the most damage. Yes, there's people making streams and making videos about it and conversation pieces and stuff. I get that's not nice. But the damage that was done was mostly done by his wife saying what she said. Really and truly. I don't think anyone else went like... When Myron put together those clips were her speaking. Not Myron, like, adding stuff. Like, that was just her clips of her speaking. I don't know.
And everything she gets said, y'all are chopping up. And I've probably done this with thousands.
Chopping up.
And famous people. So I don't knock the people who did it.
Sure.
But it did let me, I think God does everything for a reason. And I think for me, this was God's way. Because this is how I found out I had some level of fame.
So once you hear this insane cope of
I must be really famous. You guys must really care about me. So, okay, bro. If that's your conclusion, okay.
it's just really hard to feel bad for the guy. Like, he truly believes that his wife's an angel who's done absolutely no wrong. And the only reason they received any backlash was because they're so famous and important. Which is just so funny because before this humiliation tour, Akaash was only really known for being Andrew Schultz's yes man, who would laugh like a hyena and slap his knee whenever Schultz would breathe.
But don't...
Like, that was pretty much the extent of his presence online. So if anything, the story about his wife ruining his career was more famous than anything he's ever done. But of course, Akaash chalks it up to him just being an absolute world-famous A-list comedian.
This is recent.
Yeah.
So you're just realizing your fame now?
I didn't know, because people would be like, what was your I made it moment? I was like, I haven't made it. What are you talking about? And now it's like, well, when the whole world called my wife a whore, I realized I'm doing okay.
That you made it.
Yeah, that's how I found out. But I think it was just like, I'm watching them say this about her. Y'all don't know her. You're doing it off a 2-minute TikTok.
That's right.
I know this woman, and I read people pretty well. That's kind of like what most of my clips are about.
Right.
I'm not that big of a moron that a girl would lie to me for 14 years.
Oh. Excuse me, say that again. What?
Like what most of my clips are about.
Right.
I'm not that big of a moron that a girl would lie to me for 14 years or whatever,
right.
10 years, about being a virgin, and I would not even bother watching her TikToks to find out she talks about it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
None of this, how are we believing this? I couldn't understand it.
God, oh my. You know what, man? Good luck to him, man. Good luck to him, man. Let him be on, like, you're allowed to be delusional. Good luck to him, man. Like a friend that's in a bad relationship, you don't keep on, like, chastising them, telling them how bad their boyfriend or their girlfriend is for them. You don't tell them how bad their husband and wife. As a good friend, what you're meant to do, shut the fuck up and just wait, see how it plays out. And if they need you when it all falls down, you're there to pick them up. That's it. You can't do anything. You can't do it. You can't do anything. If he wants to believe what he wants to believe, it's all good. It's all good. No problem. No problem. No problem. You're not the idiot. Everyone else is the idiot. No one else done anything. I don't know. It's all good. It's all good. Cool.
And so constantly during this interview, he bounces back and forth between the ideas that his wife was completely joking and that she was just being true to herself with everything she said, which automatically confirms that this guy is struggling to face reality even to this very day. Like, even though he swears that she never lied to him about being a virgin, the truth is simply out there for everyone to see. Like, she was never trying to be a comedian in any...
I don't... Like, just to go back to this.
He said, which automatically confirms that this guy is struggling to face reality even to this very day.
That's okay. That's okay if you're not saying that you want to fuck your co-host podcast, your podcast co-host husband in front of your own husband. That's okay. Usually a girl that's like this, right? In my opinion, let me know in the stream chat if you guys disagree. Usually a girl that's like this, who's not the biggest fan of PDA, right? They do exist. Men or women, they do exist who don't really like PDA. Not for them. Nah, too much. Chill out. That person also isn't the type of person that's going to talk to you about popping their pussy. Usually, in my limited experience, the girl that also doesn't like PDA, isn't into public displays of affection, doesn't like kissing in public, doesn't like holding hands in public, doesn't like being overly touchy-feely in public, is also not going to talk about popping their pussy in public. They go hand in hand. Yeah? They go hand in hand. And that's okay. You respect your wife for that. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. But if she's like, uncomfortable to kiss you on camera, but then she's talking about what makes her wet and stuff on her pod and on her TikTok, you gotta wonder.
Like, even though he swears that she never lied to him about being a virgin, the truth is simply out there for everyone to see. Like, she was never trying to be a comedian in any of these videos. She actually seemed to be trying to go down this girl boss influencer route, and it honestly appeared as if she was trying to make her terrible podcast into a cheaper version of the Call Her Daddy podcast, which revolves around gossiping and telling raunchy true stories about their past lives.
And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep.
She's so chicken shit, by the way. At least with Call Her Daddy, they stand on their shit. At least with Call Her Daddy, they stand on their shit. Oh, I slept with this guy and I farted when he put his finger in my ass or something. At least it's disgusting. It's some white girl shit, but they stand in their shit for better or worse. This girl was popping her shit, talking about all of this popping putty stuff. The moment it started to jeopardize Akaash's bank balance, the moment it started to jeopardize Akaash Singh's wallet, which in effect jeopardized her ability to buy fucking Gucci and Chanel, she automatically came back and started walking that shit back. Oh, it was only a joke. 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 Oh, yeah. Sure.
About their past lives.
And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh. My God.
So it's just hilarious to hear Akaash say that his wife was just being a comedian and telling fake stories, then immediately following it with she was bravely being her true self, and that she was so courageous to double down with who she truly is. Like, the mental gymnastics that he's doing here is simply out of control.
I get it. How did she feel about everything?
She was, I mean, look, it affected her for sure,
course.
But she said, this is where I don't like, I wish people knew, and I said this to her before she started doing social media. She's the most like multi-dimensional person I know, where she pops off, says crazy shit, says disrespectful shit, but also is so spiritual, so grounded, and
she just spoke about getting fucked anally in her sleep, right? She just confessed that one day she hooked up with some guy from Tinder. She let him sleep over even though she didn't want to fuck him, and she woke up and her asshole was gaping, was sore, gaping and sore from either a finger or a penis, right? She let some guy fuck her anally on the first link, and you're talking about spirituality. She's so spiritual. She's multi-dimensional. Trust me. She has multiple passages. That's what she has. She has multiple fucking entry points. Multi-dimensional. Spiritual. Like, what? But I don't know, man. Like I said, part of me thinks like, was she just making it all up? Because you know what it is? If she was making it all up, that makes her more pathetic, you know? That makes her doubly, quadruply more pathetic if she was making it up. Because I could see that happening too. Because no one came out and like attribute, I don't know, but men are not like women, innit? Men are not like women. If it was that way around, women would have come out and claimed it. But a man ain't gonna come out and say, yeah, I was the guy that stuck his dick in her ass when she was asleep. No guy's gonna do that, innit? No guy's gonna confess and say that. But I was surprised that no guys came forward. I was surprised that no guys came forward with stories. But then again, men wouldn't do that. I think women would, to kind of air some guy out. But I don't think men would be like, yeah, I hooked up with her in college. It's like, you look like a dork as well. You look like a lame if you did that as a dude. I don't know. What a confusing girl.
So like, she just kind of kept that energy. She was like, whatever y'all think about me is whatever y'all think about me. I know who I am. God knows who I am. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's stressful, and like I had to realize there's a lot of people's voices in your ear, like it talking in your ear, like she needs to do this, she needs to do that, and then I had to realize like she's the one that's actually strong and courageous, and the rest of us are like running and hiding and going dark and blah blah blah. And she's like, no, I know who I am. Go f yourselves. Yeah. So
as you can tell, guys, Akaash probably knows deep down that
hello, darkness, my old friend.
His wife leeches off of him and treats him like trash. He's known this forever, and was just lucky that she kept it behind closed doors all this time. The fact that she aired everything out to the public last November, though, and exposed his truly miserable existence, is really the only thing getting to him. With that being said, though, I think this was all inevitable, and that the people around him, like Andrew Schultz and all of Akaash's buddies, are probably pretty happy that this all came out. Because apparently they tried a bunch of times during Flagrant to hint at him that he's getting stepped on by Jesslyn. Like they desperately wanted everyone to know this, but they just couldn't break the story because he's their friend.
Keep your wife off the motherfucking internet! Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro. Yes.
But at the very least, it seems like Akaash is starting to try and grow from this, but sadly enough, no matter how much he tries, there is still absolutely nothing he can do to change his ungrateful wife and her obsession with his money. Because unlike Akaash, it seems like she's literally incapable of reflecting on her own actions or taking even a shred of accountability in this entire thing. Because as long as she gets to sit around her penthouse and incinerate Akaash's Patreon,
she's truly just like, fucking hell. She's so infuriating. That's the thing, like, it's like, I don't think she tries. She's just so infuriating, isn't it? Like, she could not say even a word, and you're already looking at her you're just looking at that picture, you look at that image of her, you're like, fucking hell, man. You know? She doesn't have to talk. She doesn't even have to say anything. She's already infuriated. Oh my god, this is a man's nightmare. That's the thing I think is good that happened to Akaash. I think it's shown men, especially some of the more, let's say, men from traditional backgrounds, who maybe hold marriage up who maybe still have that idea of marriage and put it on a pedestal, that sometimes it's better to be alone. Getting married for the sake of getting married as another step in your kind of adulthood and stuff sometimes isn't worth it. It's sometimes better just to be alone. It's sometimes better to just be alone, because if this is what love is, if this is what marriage is, I don't want it, man. I don't want it. I'm sorry. Like, she ran this guy with his own podcast. She separated him from his group of friends, right? He can't even be around his own group of friends anymore. He's kind of isolated. Like it's just shit. You know what I mean? It's just lame, man. It's just lame. It's honestly lame if you think about it. Say what you want about Akaash, but he's lost his social group, isn't it? Kind of, think about it. Unless he's got another social group where they maybe walk over extra. I don't know. It's just like, he kind of got the rough end of the stick. She still gets to live her life and do her thing, and he kind of has to like be in hiding in a way, just focusing on comedy, not doing his show anymore, not being free to go on other shows because they're going to get clowned on, or it's going to invite more hate for his wife. It's just, it's brutal.
On money, she has no reason to change. And she made this pretty obvious in this recent podcast she did about a month ago, where she blamed all the backlash on the fans of the Flagrant podcast, labeling them as racist and right-winged, which is such a pathetic cop-out.
I know the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base. And I know a lot of people during like our controversy were saying like, oh, it's because of his fans. It's because of his fans. Like, his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base that I don't think really resonate with him, because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. I think like those of them are more like that.
Racist and right wing. Flagrant. Isn't there everyone from every race on that show? Even from before. Racist and right wing. Don't get me wrong, Schultz went more right wing with his voting for Trump. But how are they racist and right wing? The whole entire pod. Also, why would you say that? That's your husband's money making thing. That's his hustle. That's what's contributing a little bit to the money that you afford you to buy all this stuff that you got. The show that allows you to live your lifestyle is racist and right wing. Great business. Like, what are you doing?
But yeah, anyways, I said like those peripheral fans, like they might come at us just because we're brown girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women.
Again, I don't even think it's that deep, man. Like I said, I don't even think it's that deep. It really isn't that deep. It's not about not liking opinionated women. It's not about not liking opinionated brown women. It's just the fact that Akaash told the story or spun a narrative about your guys' relationship and how it came to be. You then got on your social media and spoke about your own past relationships and your own sexual history, and it sounded in complete contrast to what Akaash had said prior. That's it, really. It wasn't any deeper than that, and people pointed it out. It wasn't people saying we don't want to hear brown girls. It's like, hold on, this doesn't make sense based on what, you know what I mean? Oh, you don't want to hear brown girls speak. Okay, man. Okay, whatever you say. Okay, whatever you say. Okay.
So it seems like every time she opens her mouth, she somehow digs Akaash's grave even deeper than it was before. Because beyond the fans of Flagrant bashing her for her own actions, she seems to be forgetting that essentially the entire world joined in with them too. Like this wasn't a racist, right-winged attack. It was actually more of a universal understanding. I mean, for a couple weeks there, everyone from all corners of the internet came together to agree that this woman is a soulless monster. There were even a bunch of female Indian influencers who called her out for it, saying that they don't claim her and that she's giving Indian women a really bad reputation. So for her to claim that this was a coordinated attack by misogynistic, right-winged men really just shows you how clueless she really still is.
I remember because you asked me this question, like, what is it like to look at like think pieces and people analyzing your marriage and your personality? It feels weird and it feels surreal because you're like,
she loves it, innit? She loves it. Look at her face. She loves it, innit? Look at the smile. Look at the little smirk. She loves it, innit? She fucking loves it. God, may this love never find me, Jesus. I pray. In Jesus' name I pray. May this type of love never find me. May this type of relationship and marriage never find me ever. I'd rather die alone than have someone like this be my fucking wife. Please, for the love of God, please no. All those years Akaash has worked at stand-up. All those years Akaash has grafted at stand-up. Grafted with Flagrant. All those years grafting to build that show to what it was. For this girl to come along and in just a short few weeks nearly bring it all tumbling down. Luckily she didn't, right? Luckily she didn't. And Akaash and maybe somebody from her family was able to pull her away from social media by force, because I feel like she was taken away. And it also helped that she fell out with that co-host, right? She fell out with her co-host. I think that also helped to kind of stem the tide. But all of the years of Akaash's work in stand-up, all of the work he did behind the scenes, all the work on fucking MTV, all the writing gigs, all the this, all the that, all the early episodes of Flagrant when it was fucking getting no views. And it built up. All the Patreon, all those stuff nearly got completely from just a couple weeks of her fucking content online. She nearly destroyed everything. She nearly destroyed everything. Holy shit.
surreal because you're like, but you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You've never talked to me. Like, you're taking the intention of this video in the complete wrong way. And I mean, this obviously goes without saying, but the misogyny was like really crazy because obviously we know it exists in our society, but to see it so rampant and like full force and just like unapologetically there, I was like, oh my God, like this is a
girl, come on, man. You encourage misogyny. I'm sorry, man. You encourage toxic masculinity. Like she encourage. I think other women could even say. I think other women will even. I think other women, even the most girly, fucking feminist women, would say that this woman encourages men who do believe in that type of doctrine. She's the type of woman that would lead a guy down Fresh and Fit. Like, let's be real. She's the type of woman that would lead a guy down the red pill way. Let's be real. Like, she is an activator. She would bring so many men into that kind of field. Come on, man. She doesn't help it anymore. Like, she would make the most open-minded, liberal, male feminist guy into a fucking raging misogynist. She would definitely turn the most liberal-minded guy into a fucking hardcore misogynist with the way that she goes on.
real fucking thing. And it's like, it was bizarre to me because I'm like, my husband can go on stage and literally has a joke in his special about like getting a hooker isn't like cheating, it's just outsourcing, which I really don't care. Like, I think it's a funny joke, but it's like,
he's a comedian, you fucking dits clucks. Of course he can quote unquote get away with it because he's a fucking comedian. No, you're not. You never build yourself as a comedian once. The show was meant to be some sort of, not serious, but it was like a podcast for girls to be open and talk about real girl things. Now all of a sudden, you're a fucking comedian. All right. Whatever you say.
if I say something that's equally, you know, raunchy, like, then I'm a whore or all these things.
It's just pretty unfortunate that Myron Gaines, out of all people, was the first one to break this story, because she now feels justified in falling back on this terrible excuse of everyone being racist women haters against her. But it's not like everyone's siding with Myron by...
Fucking hell, bro. Fucking hell. They're fucking ugly, innit? No offense, but like, these guys being the face of the red pill, these guys being the face of the manosphere as well, it's like, they are so fucking ugly. Like, equally. God almighty. Just the clap brothers, innit? Absolute clapped brothers, for real. proper clapped brothers. Look at them. Proper jump scare, innit? Like, these are jump scare men. These are fucking jump scare men. Fucking hell.
With Myron by pointing out the insanity of Jasleen and Akaash. Like, you don't really have to align yourself with what Myron Gaines stands for to see that he was completely accurate during his coverage of this story. Jasleen simply just jumping through every hoop she can think of here.
I don't even want to say his fucking name, but this fucking loser whose name you said, like, he was on the Flagrant podcast like 5 fucking years ago. And my husband just humbled the shit out of him and basically embarrassed him because he was like, I think what you do is corny and it's not really helping men. So there's that. And I think every year he would try to like bait them by being like, oh, you guys are pussies or you guys are this. But then every year that clip would circulate. And I think deep down it really embarrassed and humiliated and emasculated him. So when all of this first started, it was like very clear to see that there was like a lot of bot farming as well. And I could tell there were bots because like the 1,500 followers I gained on Instagram, I immediately lost like within the span of 2 months. So it was like,
and then for the 9th inning grand slam, she finally addresses the allegations of her lying to Akaash about being a virgin before they met, doubling down that after 4 years of bopping around in the frat houses, that she was indeed a virgin when she first met Akaash.
When it's like, but the reality is what the reality is. It's like, I was a virgin when I met my husband. We lost our virginity to each other.
Because when I was in college, I dated this guy. He was going down on me. Like, wouldn't you know it, I was still spotting. And also, if you're like poking around down there, like more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. And I swear to God, like I thought my period was done.
And I never made that a part of my identity. I only shared that because I share my life story because I'm an oversharer. Y'all made it a part of my identity and then used it against me. I don't give a if I was a virgin or I wasn't, or if my body count was 100, but it wasn't. Those are just facts. So if you want to take like tongue-in-cheek videos and make it into something it's not, like that's not really a reflection of me. That's a reflection of them. And I think
So just based on how she stumbled around this topic, it almost seems like even she doesn't believe that super blatant lie, because she claims that it doesn't even matter whether or not she was a virgin, even though it seemed like a huge reason as to why Akaash married her in the first place. Because as a 30-year-old virgin, he took pride in the fact that he finally found his perfect match. Like, he was really the only guy that gave her that label.
Bria, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him.
Wait till you fucking see him. Just looks like an Asian guy. Wait till you fucking see him. Like, can you maybe gas up your husband a little bit? Can you maybe like gas up your husband a little bit? Like, no? Let's just gas. Okay, no problem. It's okay. It's okay.
His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never.
His face card? Really?
Never decline. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
So this whole podcast she did a month ago really just made everything worse for the two. But anyways, it looks like Akaash is actually in New York right now for one of his tour dates. So if he doesn't stop by the studio and shoot the podcast for the week that he's there, that will most definitely confirm that he's done with Flagrant for good. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, man. Cool. Yo, big up her, man. Whatever they do, as long as they're happy, I'm happy for them, innit? As long as Akaash is happy, I'm happy for them. If Akaash is happy, I'm happy.